Hola mi gente and welcome back to the channel. This is Sean from We Are Investing, a channel that is dedicated in investing and personal finance. Real quick before we proceed into the video, please consider smashing that like button and add a comment down below on what your favorite infrastructure stock is right now. Really helps with the small channels and I really do appreciate it. Now today, Joe Biden released details on a $2 trillion infrastructure package. So we're going to talk about this package and we're going to go over my investment strategy. Now just know that this package does hit home because I am a civil engineer. I design roadways and bridges in the Northeastern United States. Now this proposal is going to have to be paid some way, and they are proposing to increase taxes. The main one, corporate tax. Right now we are at 21% corporate tax rate. They are proposing to raise that to 28%, and people have been talking that they might settle out at 25%. Now an increase in the corporate tax rate will impact stocks altogether because that impacts corporate earnings. So we could see some red days if that gets passed. However, if that funds these kinds of companies, that is going to be really good for those kinds of companies. So in my personal opinion, I think it's very smart to have exposure to infrastructure stocks. I live and breathe this market. I see the potential and I see the need here, and that is why I'm investing in infrastructure. Now, out of the $2 trillion package, transportation is going to take up $621 billion US dollars. It is by far the largest group of this infrastructure package. And that is where I think people should really focus on, because there's a lot of companies in this sector that have good valuations right now. And if something gets passed, they are going to perform extremely well. And if something does not get passed, they are still going to perform well because these are solid companies. These companies are the backbone of the American economy. Now, a society that I'm actually part of, the American Society of Civil Engineers, has a report card of America's infrastructure, which this year had a grade of a C-, so not very good, and there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. Now, if you take a look at this report card, you can see how atrocious it really is. Roadways got a score of a D. Stormwater also got a score of a D, a grade of a D. And stormwater is usually incorporated with roadway design, so they go hand in hand. Wastewater, D-, not very good wastewater. You got dams at a D. Bridges at a C. Okay, bridges stepping up their game a little bit. You got levees at a D and a ports at a B-. Very good job, ports. Your mom and dad would be very proud of you. But really, overall, this group, the infrastructure of America, needs serious improvements. And just so you guys know, I said this at the beginning of this video, but I am involved with ASCE. I'm on the Reading Branch Board of Directors. There's my name right there. Now, just before we proceed any further into this video, I just want to go over my investment thoughts when it comes to this sector. I definitely think that there's a chance that this could be a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. But you got to think long term, because long term, the picture is very bright. It is very typical for traders to get into something while it's hot, and this could be the next hot thing as the talks of an infrastructure start to ramp up. The more chatter there is about this, the more traders are going to know about it, and they might buy the rumor and sell the news here, and you could see a dip after any package is announced or agreed upon, and that would be a great opportunity to add to your position, because long term, these are going to be winners in my personal opinion. But I also think you guys need to be smart about this. And I love this quote from Warren Buffett. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. You can be greedy when they sell the news, because long term, this is going to pan out very well. But another thing that I get from this quote here is look where other people are not looking. And the majority, the masses of people on YouTube, they talk about EV plays. They talk about solar plays. Those are the two things that are talked about the most when it comes to this infrastructure package, because those stocks right there are the fun stocks. Those are the companies that are easy to invest in because they sound cool and you can really get behind the mission of the company. However, I think you need to look where other people are not looking. And since the majority of the money is going to go into transportation, you want to look for companies that are directly involved with that kind of business, and companies that people are not chattering about left and right. Those are the plays that I think are going to make you the most money and have the least amount of volatility. All right, so now let's get into the top stocks that I am invested in right now for this sector. The first stock on the list is Nucor. Now, this is a company that deals with steel, and steel is a critical material when it comes to infrastructure. It's used in so many places, and this is a bet that I think is going to pan out long term. Now, Nucor has been mentioned on Mad Money on CNBC quite a lot of times because the business is solid, it's growing, it's a great company. Now, I'm invested in this company. It's been a couple months now, and I'm absolutely loving it. They are performing extremely well. And if you look at this chart, they are just continuing to go up. Now, it could pull back, so you want to keep money on the side right here for all of these infrastructure plays to buy on the dip because they are moving up. But don't be scared here because long term, if we get a package, I think that these are going to be great plays. But I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you my own opinion. Now, the next stock on the list is Uscr. This company deals with concrete, another critical material when it comes to infrastructure. So very similar to Nucor, this company I think long-term is going to blast off, and the chart right now is phenomenal. It's been performing extremely well for the portfolio, and this is another company that I think long-term is going to do extremely well. The third stock on the list is Aecom, and this is a direct competitor to what I actually do for work, and I'm invested in this company because I can't invest in the own company that I work for because those shares are private. Now, this is an engineering company. They do engineering, they do design, and also construction inspections for all kinds of things. Roadways, bridges, wastewater, water itself, dams, any kind of infrastructure that you can think of, Aecom is involved with. It's one of the largest engineering firms in the United States of America. And when we get new projects with all this money coming into the market, they are probably going to be involved in some of the biggest projects out there because the company has the size to take on giant federal projects. And that is where they can really make money as well. So this is a stock, this is a company that also I think will perform extremely well. Now, the next stock on the list is Road. Now, this is a construction company, and they're going to be involved with the construction of our highways and bridges. And that is why I think that they are going to perform extremely well long term. Now, I will say that this company is extremely volatile, and the stock goes up and down, up and down. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities to buy this stock. But long term, I also think that this is going to be a winner. So as you can see by the stock picks that I have listed in front of you today on this video, I basically cover 4 points. I cover steel and concrete. Those are the two most important materials when it comes to infrastructure. I covered engineering and design because that is also very, very important. It's the first step of the process. So revenue is probably going to go to Aecom first, and then it's going to go to the other companies, which could bode well for the share price because that can be seen in their earnings report before any of the other companies. And then the last stock that we talked about was construction. So we cover materials, engineering and design, and also construction. That basically covers everything you need to have when it comes to infrastructure. Now, if you don't want to pick a bunch of stocks, you can also pick an ETF and get a basket of stocks as well. However, since I am an investor, I have a YouTube channel about investing. I love picking individual stocks. It's what I like doing. So I don't go the ETF route, but I can see why it would make sense for some investors. Now, the ETF that I like for this sector is IFRA. It's been performing extremely well, and it can continue to perform extremely well if we get money into the markets. Now, that wraps it up for a quick overview of the stocks that I think are going to be winners in this sector. Now, if you guys don't know, we do have a Patreon for this channel, which gives you access to this Discord server where we have our own infrastructure stock channel. We've been talking about these stocks for about a month now, and a lot of them have performed extremely well. Uscr is up over 20% since we got in, and that's just been a couple of weeks. So it's been performing extremely well, and it probably can continue to do so. When you join the Patreon, you also get access to follow the portfolio in real time, and it is the best way to help support this channel. A link to join is provided down below. Now, that wraps it up for this video, guys. I thank you so much for your time. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and smash that like button, and I'll catch you guys on the flip flip side. It's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun, and this is We Are Investing, and together we are invincible. See ya!